Step number 5, finishing touches. There are a few things I want to share with you that can add a lot of fun to your escape room and send the message that this lesson is something different. I've said this a few times now, but it's so important to have a story that anchors this activity. From the moment your students enter the classroom, there are a couple things you can do to create a mood. The first thing is music. Music will immediately shift your mood. If your students are going to be traveling 200 million years in the past, well, maybe blast some Jurassic Park theme music. If your escape room is supporting a unit on, say, Lord of the Flies, then go ahead and play some jungle sounds. I found a bunch of space-related playlists on Spotify, and that worked for me. You can also add some visuals. I created this poster here in the center, and I hung it on my door and entering the classroom. It took me only a few minutes on Adobe Spark, and I printed it for free on campus. You could also incorporate props. For my lesson on the events that started the First World War, I traced some outlines of bodies on the ground and put up caution tape. It definitely got people's attention. Another great way to hook your students into that story you've created is to make a movie trailer. Adobe Spark Video is hands down the best resource for this. It honestly just takes a couple of minutes, and at the end you'll produce a short 30-second, maybe 1-minute video, which will bring the hype. I'll share my Space Race trailer on the main page to give you an idea. You should also ask yourself, how can you add the element of surprise? Our students go through the motion of school, and they generally know what to expect every day. So how can you mess with that a little bit and keep them on their toes? Finally, be sure to celebrate their success. When you go to an escape room, like a real escape room, at the end you take a photo with the group to celebrate the end of the adventure. I had students pose with their certificate and trophy when they solved the final puzzle. I made that certificate on Canva, C-A-N-V-A, and I found the trophy at a place called Austin Creative Reuse, which, if you haven't been, it is the best place to find used classroom supplies, office supplies, arts and crafts, and straight up weird objects. I found old soccer trophies, a whole bunch of Easter eggs, really nice quality colored cardstock, totally brand new pencils, computer paper, and a lot more for literally pennies on the dollar, and I've used them all in my classroom. I had a lot of fun printing out some of the photos I took and posting them in the hallway outside of my room. In my family, getting your stuff put on the refrigerator at home was like this really big deal, so this is my version of that. Students not in my class would stop and look to find their friends, and my students would pretend to be embarrassed if they didn't like the photo and how they turned out in it. But however you choose to celebrate your students, try and make it visual and very visible. I promise you, you will be surprised by what students really launch themselves into this activity. A lot of kids I had that maybe were pretty reserved or just not that engaged really lit up during this lesson, and it's your opportunity to show off their success when it occurs.